no cure for tinnitus, so I had to help myself. And because of that, I ended up reprogramming my mind to accept my tinnitus, to accept the noise in my ears and in my head, that it's not going to go away. So I reprogrammed my mind. I tried to keep listening. I focused on it. And then eventually it started going to the background as if it was no longer there. So instead of seeing it as my enemy, because I saw it as my enemy for a year and a half, I even did acupuncture in Bangkok and many other alternatives just to like help reduce this disorder. But the only thing that helped me was myself and me actually accepting it as a friend and accepting, okay, I have this disorder, and me using my mind that it's not as bad as I think it is, and this is something that's here to stay. And that's when I learned how to heal myself with my mind rather than medications or like a surgery as other doctors claimed. And that's when I realized sometimes you can use your mind to actually heal some things which medication cannot really help with. And also because I realized recently during quarantine, you know, I think many of us also had a mental health affected all of us during quarantine. We all agree with that. And during quarantine, as somebody who loves to go and come, to travel, explore, being confined to walls really affected me mentally. And, you know, being through toxic relationships in the past, I realized maybe there's something within my energy that I need to work on to stop attracting toxic relationships, or to start feeling better and to accept quarantine, or to accept feeling good, because I was really going through a very mental toll. And that's when I went into energy healing, doing courses, certification, reading, researching, and practicing it. And I've completely transformed and completely changed. And I've helped many people around me, friends, family, clients, with everything that I've learned and the techniques I've used. And that's when I realized this actually does work. I can't hear you.
Sorry. So tell me, you're saying that you had a physical ailment which actually healed after you started doing the energy healing techniques. Did it heal completely, the tinnitus?
No, the tinnitus does not go away. It's there, but it does no longer affect me as it did before. So it's sometimes like as if it's not there anymore, because I reprogrammed my mind that it's not there.
So it wasn't affecting you the same way it would affect you, but it was still there. And then you're also saying that your relationships and the way you talked about the energy that you had was also something which you could hone in using energy healing. So we need to before we continue right now, our platform is, we're based in Africa diaspora, and very little is known about holistic healing techniques. We don't actually, I'll be shocked if people actually get into this Zoom and this live, because they are so scared of this topic. They are so scared of knowing it. You know, those thin lines between, is this a religious thing? Will I be crossing the boundaries of my beliefs? Is this, you know, there are lots of misconceptions and a lot of misunderstandings about what exactly energy healing is. Is it just wishy-washy thinking, or is it something that could actually be accessible to Africans? So I need you to just explain to us exactly what is energy healing.
Doctor, sorry, the connection.
Hi. Are you getting me? Who was cut off, me or her? Okay, I think Rayan was cut off, but I'm not sure. If we're still on the Facebook, guys, hi.
Sorry, the internet was unstable. I couldn't hear anything. I'm sorry.
I wasn't sure if it was me or you. It must be all across the world.
I couldn't hear. So if do you mind please repeating what you were saying, because I completely lost track.
I just wanted to ask, what exactly is energy healing? Because there's a lot of misconceptions, especially in Africa. We don't know what this is. And if you're watching this live and you really don't know what it is, just write that, yep, we need to understand this thing. And tell us where you're listening from, tell us your name, tell us where you're listening from, and what exactly you want to know about energy healing. Rayan. Oh no. I think your Wi-Fi or your connection is. Could someone in the.
Hello.
Hi. Yeah, I think it's your connection, but you can go ahead.
So your question was basically asking about the misconceptions people have of energy healing.
Yeah.
Yes, so there have been many misconceptions of energy healing, especially when it comes to religion. And I always tell my clients this, for example, when it comes to energy healing, it's just basically a holistic practice of energy points in your body and using your mind to help yourself to heal. So it goes nothing against religion, because if you look at religion tells you to practice gratitude, to practice, prayers, mindfulness. That's exactly what energy healing is as well. So they're actually very much interrelated, especially when it comes to energy points like acupressure, acupuncture, and you using like art, music, dancing, all these different natural ways to heal yourselves. Because, can you hear me? Because many people think energy healing is to do with magic, but that's not energy healing. There's no spells, there's no magic. It's just you using your mind and convincing your mind to really heal parts that you're able to heal.
Okay. So from my understanding, it's us taking back our health.
Yes.
We are saying we're not relying on medicine. We're not relying on external therapies, but relying primarily on our body, on our mind, on our breath, those kind of techniques.
Exactly.
So is this something that we've been doing already in Africa? I mean, is there any relation, like maybe traditionally, have we been actually doing energy healing without realizing it in Africa? Because many people would say, as we don't know those things of yoga, we don't do that. But is there something in Africa's history which is like energy healing?
So since I grew up in Zimbabwe, and I do see the correlation, because energy healing is not basically just yoga. Like, I don't do yoga, for example. I don't even like yoga. So not everybody who does energy healing is into yoga. But for example, energy healing can also mean art, music, dance. It's just you moving your body, you using your mind, being creative. And this is something I believe Africans throughout history have done. They're the best dancers of the world, singers, artists. They're very creative. And this is basically the reason why you don't really hear of like psychologists or like a lot of mental health issues or a high rate of suicide in the African continent as you hear in the West. Because Africans, not realizing it, they are doing energy healing. They're doing holistic therapy without realizing that they're doing that already with their environment around them. For example, in Zimbabwe, you have beautiful scenery, beautiful nature that one cannot find when living in a city in New York, for example. So just being there grounded, seeing the scenery, dancing, music, and having this family support system. So it's a collective society. So also being a collective society also helps. You have a support system, you have like a tribe, a circle, sisters around you. And all of this really is part of holistic therapy, which many people don't realize. It's just the basic things, for example. And also, as you know, an Arab and grew up in Africa, we share similar culture where people tell you it's just your head. Like even psychology here and going to psychology is also a taboo in a way here, because we grew up saying, no, you're fine. It's all in your head. We don't believe in that. And you can make, so it's very similar culture. And it's you basically telling your mind that you're fine and you can heal yourself. It's just basically walking, drawing, these kind of basic techniques.
I'm so excited because it means You know what I think it is? I think it's just the words and the terminology that we've been given. When you get thrown these words like energy healing, holistic healing, you feel like it's something you don't know about, not knowing that it's really simple things, and it's things that we've done all the time. Dancing, I never thought of that. Art therapy, these are things that psychologists are now actually beginning to use, but they've been used for generations. But now, what exactly, how do we then get those techniques of really using them? Because the whole point of AfroFemme really is for us to have mental health solutions for women. So when we have these common mental health disorders like anxiety, depression, substance abuse, we have women who, first of all, there are three problems. The first problem is they're not aware that they have that problem. So there's a lack of awareness. Then the second one is when they know they have the problem, they don't know what to do about it. There's no action that's taken. And then the third problem is that they may know what it is, they may know what action to take, but they have no access to the services for healing or for any treatment. But can we then possibly take holistic therapies and do them ourselves, be empowered to do these things on our own? I think this is something, please just tell us, how can we use these things for ourselves?
Actually,
because we want to heal.
I love you for this question. This is the perfect question you can ask during this session. So for example, you mentioned somebody who has anxiety or depression, but do you know that in the body, we have 7 chakras, 7 energy points, and each chakra is part of depression. If it's unblocked, creates depression, creates anxiety, creates lack of self-confidence, creates insecurities. So for example, what I would do, I usually scan or I give a test to a client and I can see which chakras are blocked. I can know, for example, you have depression, so your root chakra is blocked. Insecurities, your root chakra is blocked. For example, if you have like a lack of self-confidence, self-esteem, it's your solar chakra. So based on what you're telling me, I can know exactly which energy points are blocked. Then I can tell you within less than an hour what you can do to unblock it just within your home, inside your home. For example, the sacral chakra, which is basically underneath your stomach, which is the part of pleasure and joy and creativity. When it's blocked, I tell my clients, you need to move your hips. So when you're moving your hips, you're moving your sacral chakra, you're trying to unblock it, and it's the water element. So drinking lots of water, herbal tea, swimming, taking a bath of hot water, exactly, going in the ocean, this helps to unblock your chakra. You don't have to pay for it. So energy healing and holistic therapy is stuff you do without money, stuff you can really do just sitting down. And even with chakra, sometimes where for the sacral chakra, I tell people where the color.
I think we've lost Rayan again there. I'm just going to take this opportunity, guys, especially the Facebook group. Please put your questions down now. I want to be swinging.
Generally feel better, just relaxing.
We've lost you, Rayan. Oh dear.
So, and this helps with.
Hello. Well, whilst we try and get her back, she's actually dropped off the line completely. She's going to be back in a second.
Oh,
there you are. Don't worry. When you drop off, it's when we are really marinating in all this knowledge. I'm still excited about the hip movement because I'm like, I've been sitting on a writer's block for months now because I've been supposed to be writing all along. But I realized, why don't I just go swim? You're saying that it's as simple as swimming and drinking water and winding my hips and my creativity can just start exploding? Is it that simple, really?
If you believe in it, if you really tell your mind to, and no, that's one of the techniques. It's a combination of all of this, not just drinking water, not just moving. It's a whole different technique. You have to combine them together as well, like with meditation, visualizing an orange light, unblocking your sacral chakra. So it's a combination of different techniques which a person should follow on regularly to unblock that chakra. So it's not as simple as you think it is. It's simple when you think about it, but it's a practice.
Okay. So people train for these things for years and they know what to do. So it's not like we can just read about it and do it. You need to actually consult a specialist.
Yes,
Such as
it's know what's
yourself.
wrong. Yeah, so the root causes, and you have to really believe and genuinely practice it. I get many clients that I give them what to do, I consult them, but then like they're not doing what I told them to do. They go like, oh, we got lazy. Oh, it is. I was like, okay, but I'm teaching you how you can self-heal. If you don't do this on a regular basis, how are you going to unblock it? How are you going to really feel better if you just procrastinate? You see what I mean? So it's not just doing it like that. Yeah. You have to really, really do it and be consistent while doing it. Like you really want to help yourself. But if you don't help yourself, no one can help you.
You're right. And I think it's true for every type of therapy. I mean, if you don't do the work, you're not going to see results. And that's the problem with people is they think I just need to talk about it once, then I go home, but you actually need to do the exercises, do the work. And a lot of therapists are so frustrated by clients who just don't do the work, but they still expect some results. So we have a lot to do ourselves when it comes to healing. We must know that it's up to us to go for that and to receive it. So I do understand what you're saying about that. Rayan, tell me about journaling. Journaling is one of the techniques that you mentioned that you teach. How can we use journaling for mental wellness?
So there are two ways of journaling. There's something called a dream journal. So I'm going to start with that. So sometimes we believe when we have dreams, sometimes they could mean messages. They could be a guidance, or like they could be like something we're trying to get a message out of. So for example, which I give advice is to have a journal and a dream journal. So once you're sleeping and as soon as you can remember your dreams, try to write that down. Like today I dreamt this and that, because for example, for me, sometimes my dreams are my fears. So I started to write, okay, today I dreamt about violence. I dreamt that somebody was trying to come rape me, for example. So I write that down. Why am I feeling this way? It's because of my fears. So when I start to write consistently, like let's say for a few days of these several dreams, and I get a message out of it that, okay, I need to work on this fear. Or this is just like the back of my head, my fears are coming to my dream. Or there's a message saying that maybe I need to help others more. So there's always certain message you can get from a dream journal when you start to analyze and put it into a story. That's a dream journal. When it comes to journaling, I always recommend people to write down everything they're feeling, their thoughts. Get a book, get a pen, what you're feeling right now, write it down. Like, dear journal, I'm feeling this, that, write it, right? Let your basically your hand and the pen just flow. Let it just move and just like let it write. Everything you're feeling and just write that. And what I also suggest when it comes to journaling, it can be the simple of things. Like today I did this, I did that. Anything that makes you feel relief, that makes you feel good. And also part of journaling can be also part of manifestation when you're trying to attract something, you're trying to set a goal. That also can be part of journaling. Like for example, today I want to write about the relationship I want to have with myself. So you can have a page and just write that I'm having this relationship with myself. I need to write it based on present tense. Today I'm loving myself. I've become balanced. I know I'm starting to see love around me. Like you literally writing what you feel and writing what you want to attract, but in the present tense. That can also be part of journaling, which is also part of manifestation. You're trying to attract that. You get what I mean?
I get what you mean. And you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of something I did last year with affirmations. Is it the same as affirmations?
No, affirmations is you telling yourself, I'm loved, no, I am worth it. But journaling is you writing your story.
Okay.
You're writing the story you want. Like you're writing a story.
So when you say that you can write the journal in present tense.
Exactly.
Isn't that the same? How do you write a story in present tense? Isn't that like saying things that are not already there yet and then they come to be?
But that's the thing. for journaling to be effective, for you to have this manifestation, you need to write in present tense like it's already happening. Like, for example, let's say you want to have the specific job, the specific lifestyle, and you're not happy at the moment. When it comes to journaling, you take your book, you write. Today I woke up, I started to believe I could get the job I want. And I ended up applying and I got that job, and, describe that job you got, the job you wanted, and, and I actually travel, this, that, and that. You're writing as if it happened. So you're trying to program your mind. This is my reality. So we don't realize how much our thoughts affect our reality. So you actually need to write present tense that you're attracting it. You're making it happen. Like you're visualizing it. This is a part of manifestation.
That's amazing.
So always do present tense, because if you say, I will, you don't have it. When you say, I already have it, it's like you're telling your mind, I already have it. And to give you proof, 5 years ago, when I was still at university, I had a paper. I wrote down everything I wanted to achieve from now to 5 years. I wrote it down. And I wrote it, I achieved it. I'm doing this, I did that, that. And I kept that paper like in my closet or somewhere, and I forgot about it. I let it go. 4 years later, I was like cleaning my room. I found this paper. I'm like, what? I opened it. Everything I wrote on that paper happened.
Okay, all right. I believe you. Is it the same as a vision list? I did this thing similar to that, which I called 300 things, where I wrote, and I realized I'm actually an energy person as well, because I've been doing these things, but I didn't know. I wrote a list of 300 things after watching a motivational speaker, and they said, write 300 things. And I was like, what do you mean? But they just said, write 300 things that you want, that you desire, not necessarily material things, but just, and I wrote and I finished the list. And for sure, the things came to pass quicker than I ever imagined. I looked at the list and I was like, why was I writing such useless things? I could have been writing big things here. Is it the same as a vision list?
That's not journaling. That's like the vision list.
It's like goals.
It's like a role, like, part of journaling when you want to achieve something, but journaling is you writing the story, like you writing your vision.
The story, okay.
The story. Like, for example, if you fought with someone, you can, when it comes to journaling, you can rewrite that story. You did not fight with them. You write it, I did not fight with this person. Oh, we're friends again. We ended up, saying nice things to each other. We're completely okay now. You rewrite your story the way you want it, the vision you want. So when it comes to journaling, you're writing a story. You're writing all those thoughts, and it's like a story.
Okay.
So it's like your vision, their points, and you're writing a story that you want in the present tense.
I hear you. I hear you. I'm going to try it out, because I like writing as well. So it would be interesting to put myself into a story that I want to see happen. And
exactly.
I think it's not, I don't see where it would hurt, even if you don't read, but you're saying that you need to believe it to do it?
You have to believe it. If you don't believe in it, likewise, any other job, if you don't believe in a job, you'll never succeed. So you really have to believe in it. You want to do it.
Okay. There's someone...
So the energy is the energy you receive.
Yeah. I don't want people to fall behind, Rayan. So I'm going to ask the questions that are coming up on Facebook now. If we can just answer one or two, and then we'll come back to our chat. So Sakile is asking, is energy healing more how you connect back to what centers you? As a Christian, for me, it would be God. Anything that brings you back to yourself. So how would you answer her? She wants to know, is energy healing that center of for you? And for her, she's saying her center is God. And I know a lot of people would want to know, how does energy healing and your relationship with God, if you're a believer, how does it relate?
Actually, I'm a Muslim, so I do believe in God. And when I do energy healing, when I'm doing meditation, or when I'm writing or visualizing, I always have my Allah in my mind. Like the same way with gratitude, So it's like when you're doing energy healing, it's like you're focusing and you're visualizing and you're like giving your energy off to a higher power, which is God, which is, for example, for me, it's Allah. So it's the same way, but it's just like you're just doing a different wording, a different name, a different wording, but you're still, God is still there. Allah is still there. Or whatever religion you believe, or whatever higher power you believe in, he's still there. But you're just using your mind to help you heal, but your faith is also within God.
Yeah. So yeah, I hear you, because I think what we need to understand is that whatever our faith is, we still need the stillness to connect with the higher power. We still need that the solitude and the silence to be present.
Exactly.
And I guess if we can have techniques that help us still our mind, that help us focus, get
and
into
connect,
and connect.
God.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I would need that, because I've had a really rough week this week trying to focus and so many distractions. I don't know. What technique do you have for me today? Because for example, I'm just going to have a free session right now. No, I'm just joking. Are there any techniques which you can tell us about, which maybe you can demonstrate for us to learn something which is easy to understand, and so that we really understand this holistic therapy?
So for just before giving you the demonstration, I wanted to mention, like, the crown chakra we have on top of our head is the wisdom, the guidance, and like the faith chakra. So when it's blocked, it means you're not connecting to a higher power. So when I have clients who are religious, I tell them, you're not really connecting to your God. She's like, yeah. I'm like, yeah, you need to have more faith. So when they're losing faith, not really connecting to a God, the crown chakra may be blocked. So that's why God is also part of the process. So you need to connect to a higher power. So some people, higher power is universe. Some people, it's God. So that's also part of the crown chakra, just to make that clear. Thanks. So now, I would like to demonstrate for people something they can do right now. So since the world is facing a lot of stress, a lot of negativity around us, and we have a lot of negative people as well who affect our energy, being an empath. So what I'd like you to do is close your eyes and picture a vortex, like a white ball, and draw that around you from head to toe. Like a vortex, it's like a white ball. Like you are inside that white ball that is light, and you're being protected. It's all around you, and you're being protected, and you're closing your eyes. Now, take 2 deep breaths, inhale and exhale. Now, take your hand as if you're holding a sword. Okay? What is your favorite color?
At this very moment, it's pink.
Okay, so picture you're holding a pink sword. It's like a pink light.
No, purple, sorry.
Okay, so picture the sword you have is like a purple light. Now, we're going to cut all negative cords you have around you. So start cutting from head to toe and beneath your feet. Start cutting. Pretend like you're cutting everywhere. Near your ears, near your shoulders. You're cutting all the negative energy, cutting all that stress off. Even underneath your feet, all of it, cut. Visualize that purple sword, cut. Until you feel like it's enough to let that go.
It will never be enough.
Okay.
So now, once we've cut, we need to replace it, right? So, choose another color. You still want purple? Picture you're replacing all of your body from head to toe with a purple light. You've been the waves of purple light all over your body from head to toe. You're full of this purple energy. Just feel it. You're replacing everything you cut off. Relax. Now, imagine a boat, the anchor of the boat, and you're throwing that anchor to ground you. So you're throwing that anchor and you're being still. So imagine yourself throwing, it's red, okay, a red anchor. So throw that anchor, feel grounded. Then once you feel relaxed, open your eyes and tell us how you feel.
Can we also share our experience?
I feel
Light.
I do feel light. The color in the room has changed. I don't know if it's because my eyes were closed, but I feel like dancing a little bit. I don't know.
So that's how you cognitive chords.
But what does that mean? Like,
you're using your mind. You're visualizing, using your mind. So you're using your mind to cut everything negative. It's your power of your mind. We all have it, but you have to know how to use it. It's how you use it. And not many people are aware. So right now you're aware of the power of your mind. So you can visualize anything. You can visualize yourself being protected, cutting everything negative, being that light, and just being light.
I'm actually feeling relaxed, Rayan, to be honest with you. I feel less stressed, honestly. I can send you a voice note I sent to my sister just an hour ago. I'm not feeling the same way. So I'm amazed.
Well, that's amazing.
No, I'm actually feeling better. And I think, guys, you should try this as well. I don't know, there are a few people who said they tried it on the Zoom. Could you tell us how you felt? Maybe you can write it in the chats if anyone tried that.
Yes, I tried it.
How did it feel?
It felt really, really good, honestly. Like, I never believed in all this, whatever Rayan's doing. But honestly, it's the first time I try it, and I'm actually so proud of Rayan.
Thank you.
We are so proud to have her on as well. And I'm just, someone in the group saying the exercise really helped. Charlene, did you try it as well? So we can actually be doing these things. It doesn't cost anything, and it frees you because you can just do a few exercises. These are not evil things. These are just basic, what would you call them? Visualization, thinking of something and it comes to be. Like, how would you explain how that works?
Power of the mind.
Power of the mind.
Simple.
So we're actually underutilizing our mind.
Exactly. It's lack of awareness and lack of self-belief. We think that maybe our minds are not that strong, but the mind is so strong because it really affects you more than physical pain sometimes. That's why you have a lot of people committing suicide because of their mind. So the mind is something so fragile, yet it's so dangerous and it's so powerful. So you have to have the self-awareness on how to really use that.
Woo, that was powerful, hey? Our minds are so powerful, but we underestimate them. And you know, there are lots of things we underestimate. We've got our body, our spirit, and our soul. Our body, our mind, and our soul. But we never think our mind can do anything. We just think that it's all in here. But it's actually really powerful.
It is very powerful. Indeed. You just have to believe and know it.
We're learning. How are we going to teach Africans to do this thing, Rayan? I need your help. How do we convince them that this is the way to go?
Maybe we can have more live sessions where I actually do certain techniques.
How do people contact you?
On my Instagram page if they want, Soul Lighters, where they can actually see reviews, where I have reviews of people where they can actually maybe get convinced.
I'll leave all the details on
my Facebook,
on the recording, on the Facebook group, and also in our chat here on Zoom. So tell me about meditation. Do you do that as well? Is that
Yes.
something that's part of holistic healing? How does that work?
So I really love doing meditation because it's like trying to calm down your mind, especially when you're feeling really stressed. You start off with breathing, relaxing the mind, and just like, visualizing. It helps people to feel relaxed. Like when you're feeling stressed, we're just sitting there, being still, taking these deep breaths, and just releasing all this thoughts in your head, just being you, being still. And usually I love doing meditation when I'm out in nature, like under the sun, somewhere like outside of my house. Or I love doing it when there's no lights on, like, at night when I close off the lights or a candle, just really being still, being one of myself and just trying to stay calm. Because I think the most powerful thing a person can do in life is to master the peace of being calm, to calming down the mind. And I think meditation is one effective way of really calming down the mind and feeling relaxed, because that's you and yourself and your prayers and the higher power that you believe in, just being there one.
That's interesting because I think something I once heard about meditation was that people don't want to empty their mind because then evil spirits get in. Like if you leave your mind completely blank, then it's dangerous. You should never empty your mind, things like that. What
But
is
you can empty your mind and visualize what you want. So meditation is you going into this different world of yours that you really want, or your happy place. So when you're visualizing, you're meditating. So when you're meditating, you're visualizing like you're by the beach, or you're relaxing, you're having a good burger. So it's you're getting out of your like you're getting out of the realistic state you're in, getting into this whole different world, to feel relaxed and to come back. And if it helps them, they can have music, like meditation music on the background. People get more inspired. They start, hearing the birds chirping, or like the sound of waves. There are certain different types of music they can do when they're meditating, or guided meditations, or just listen to the music or the sound of the birds or nature from this music in the background that they can visualize.
what about you said music, that's very interesting. What about things like aromatherapy? Is that a type of energy healing as well?
Yes, aromatherapy really helps a lot, especially when it comes to oils. Like, for example, lavender oil helps with anxiety. If you put it like here, around here, you like feel like you're like less stressed, you're relaxed. Well, I suffer from anxiety. So I have like 3 different lavender bottles that I keep putting on myself, especially before sleeping, just to feel relaxed. So lavender has a huge effect for anxiety. Cinnamon oil, for example. So like, for example, in Sri Lanka, they have many different types of oil for different disorders, illnesses, etc. Like, for example, for headaches, there's an oil. I have a cinnamon oil, which when I get a headache, I put it over here, my headache goes away. So aromatherapy is really helpful, and you spending oil really relaxes you. Like when you go to like a bathtub and have like the smell of the oil, it calms down the body, it calms your soul down. Aromatherapy, candles, oils. So
You know what? I just want to talk to African people right now. These guys have been using ginger, lemon, honey. When they have
that's part of
flu,
therapy.
we've been doing these things. Why can't we do it for our mental health as well? What is the big deal? I'm beginning to realize that we've been using all the basis of holistic healing is anything which is not medical, anything which is not, those scientific things which we learn in school, the academic way, going to the hospitals. But we have been using these traditional methods for a long time. What's wrong with drinking chamomile tea to go to sleep? Yeah.
When I was in Sri Lanka, I was there on vacation, we had a tour guide, and I told him, so what is the most sickest people have in Sri Lanka? Like usually in other places, there's a high rate of cancer, like in Lebanon especially. Sri Lanka is like, no, we don't have a high rate of cancer. I'm like, why? He's like, we live organically. We live off herbs, spice, oils, organic. They live in a very holistic, alternative way of life. So they don't have these diseases like cancer, for example, which you see in very consumed countries full of medical gases and all of that. So in Sri Lanka, they have these oils, these herbs and spices, this alternative way of healing. And that's why you feel like there's a lower rate of certain diseases.
Yeah, I can imagine. So the natural way of doing things. And you know, we are actually the heads. We love natural methods, especially now with COVID and
Yeah.
a lot of the other diseases going around. There's now a huge market for herbal medicines, especially
Exactly.
just today, I was feeling a little under the weather, but my family believes in this medicine called Zumbani.
Mm-hmm.
It's like this miracle herb in Zimbabwe, which is used for everything. Um, my friend Soraya was saying it's a miracle medicine that cures everything except death, according to Zimbabweans. So we believe in these things, but if we put as much belief in these traditional methods into our mental health, we can use it as a strength. Lavender, for example, there's so many people suffering from anxiety, but they run to take medication, diazepam. They're running for what? Why don't we just try these holistic methods, these alternative
For
methods?
example, having a bath with lavender leaves helps anxiety as well.
So what else can you tell us? Some tidbits for, let's say, depression. Depression is a big one as well. Do you have any like practical tips that you could give us?
So for depression, since it's a very like a deep name, I usually try to see the root causes. So I usually do the chakras to see which chakras are blocked, because a couple of chakras can be blocked that is causing the depression, which is part of the root chakra. So then I start to work on each chakra, and like based on each chakra, I tell them what to do, techniques to do that, for them to really combine all of that to reduce the depression, as well as with journaling, writing down their thoughts, visualizing, manifestation. So when it comes to depression, it's a whole different combination of techniques that it's advisable for them to do, not just one thing. And really just going out and connecting with nature and using affirmations, as you said as well, and rewriting their stories and practicing Ho'oponopono. I don't know if you've heard of Ho'oponopono. It's a Hawaiian prayer. I love you, I forgive you, thank you. Just keep repeating that, and you're forgiving yourself, forgiving those around you, and just really, really following like this meditation and mindfulness techniques.
Okay.
So when it comes to depression, I can't give one technique right now because I have to like, it's an analysis. I have to study what is the root cause and what are the blockages, and then I can like focus on like how to reduce the depression. But rewriting your story, journaling, meditating, being mindful, using crystal stones, aromatherapy, ritual baths, you know, just relaxing, having a bath of flowers and lavender, just really feeling relaxed, and using affirmations really, really can help with depression.
Yeah, I love that. I love what you're saying. Different techniques, different things that we can actually try as well. But I wanted to ask, so if someone is on medication, would you not then be able to do these things, or can they be on medication and still do holistic therapy?
They can be on medication and they can try through holistic therapy and see what works for them. If they feel like they're getting better holistically, then they'll be more eager and have the strength to stop the medication.
Okay. I guess a combination of interventions can help.
Exactly, because you can't tell them to stop. You have to try the technique first and see if it's working, and they're really fulfilling it and they feel like, okay, it's working, I believe in it, then they will be willing to stop.
Yeah, so we're back to they have to do the work. If you don't do the work, you won't see the results. Yeah, wow, this is so fascinating, Rayan. I'm so happy that you came and talked to us today. Can you imagine we've run out of time? It feels like we haven't even started talking. I wanted to just remind people about what AfroFemme is about. We want to open up to heal, first of all, because we have a lot of unhealed traumas. We have a lot of insecurity. We are facing fear in our lives. And as African women from Africa, we had Rayan today because you're a woman from Africa. You went, where did you go to school?
I went to Twin Rivers and a Harare International School, both of them.
So you're one of us. So we just want to emphasize that we want to champion self-awareness. We want to champion self-acceptance and autonomy and determination to have the mental wellness you deserve. It's all about empowering ourselves because we have been let down by certain systems. We can't access the care. Maybe we don't have the support network in our families to get the assistance we need, or just in our society, in the community. So this is a platform for you and I to grow, to heal, to learn, to be empowered. And I love today's topic because it was such simple ways. It's so community oriented. It's natural. It's not expensive. And these are things we can learn more about and we can try and start doing them. Rayan, what are your parting words to our ladies today?
So the parting words I have is that, to let you know, most of our trauma comes from our womb. So there's something called womb healing activation. So after this session, I would like everyone who feels they want to heal some past trauma with themselves to place both their hands on their womb, close their eyes, and take deep breaths, and imagine any light, any color you like. It can be orange, white, yellow, purple, and just imagine that the light is unblocking. It's there, healing that womb of yours. Or you can imagine water. It's the sacral chakra, which is the water element, like a wave of water washing all that pain and trauma away, holding your hands there, and just meditation and setting your intention that I'm healing all my wounds and I'm feeling really good right now. And just visualize yourself and seeing yourself there, smiling and really healing. And I hope you can try that and let us know.
That's beautiful because I actually have an actual wound in my womb. So that really touches me, and I'm going to try that later on today. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
And I think I'm going to come for a session as well.
Time.
we need to talk. This thing is too deep for the Zoom. Thank you so
anytime.
much. Thank you so much.